God, man, I ain't thought about that town in a while. Hey, yeah, everybody's fun. Hey, cool. I was at the grocery store the other day, and I saw a gentleman walked up to me, and he had a hat on, and it said retired, but I misread the hat. I didn't know we were labeling it now, you know what I mean? If you're not laughing, maybe you need a hat. Or a helmet, I don't know. No, I try to be up to date with my lingo and like the preferred nomenclature of the day. I'm just wondering, like, how much longer do you think it'll be before the Hebrews start calling themselves they brews? You see it like, yeah, religion, ethnic background, that's like a spectrum, you know? No, it's good. We have people out here doing the ancestry thing, the DNA, spitting in your mom's mouth, finding out if your grandkids are gonna have red hair or whatever. Science, I don't know what it is. You know, anyone out there doing that? Knowing themselves? I don't want to know anything about my background, I'll put it that way. I knew 3 of my grandparents, that was one too many. I'm from here, right? Like from like 10 minutes down the road. And I don't need to know anything else about my family because both sides of my family have lived in this area since before the Civil War. I'm not going to learn anything beneficial if I do Ancestry.com or any of that stuff, right? Thankfully, I don't know much about my dad's side of the family, but I do know on my mom's side of the family that we're related to the Wright brothers. So if you think about it, yeah, in a way, if you think about it, I'm kind of responsible for 9/11. Just the whole Genesis idea of the thing, maybe. Nah, man. So the other day for breakfast, I was eating 24 Hot Pockets because life's not worth living. I noticed, like, seriously, if Netflix cancels that show Emily in Paris, I'm checking out. Like, I'm gonna just fucking swan dive off the top of the nearest building. But I noticed on, like, the packaging for Hot Pockets, that Hot Pockets refer to themselves as sandwiches. No? I mean, a Hot Pocket's like a white dude with dreadlocks heard about what a burrito was and then tried to make it from memory. That's a borderline racist food. Like, you need to stick to the ham and cheese one, and even those aren't kosher. Food advertising's wild, right? Like, the other day, I'm serious, I saw an ad for Hellman's mayonnaise with no white people in it. I mean, do we have nothing left anymore? That's too much diversity. Like, we solved it. Congratulations, us. Like, my mayonnaise is what white people do. Just throw in anything they want in it and calling it salad. You ever heard of ham salad? I'm guessing you have. I know where we are. It's just ham and mayonnaise. That's all it is. You can't do that, right? Mayonnaise is what white people do, right? Like, who's buying that torpedo-sized tub at Costco? Those white people, right? Why do you think we have 2 Dakotas and a Minnesota? Mayonnaise. That's why we have it. Pickles is another one. That's just a whole industry of making shit not what it is. Like, I don't know, the apocalypse is coming. Might as well just shove everything in a jar with salt and vinegar. It's gonna be tasty. I do think about food like all the time. I think about food tremendous amount of time because I used to be like really overweight. Some people here, normally I say that and nobody knows me from when I was a fat dude. But some people actually here, they remember me when I was large and in charge. But I was actually, at my biggest, I weighed 320 pounds and I had a 42-inch waist because I was a professional. A few years ago through like diet and exercise, I changed things up and I ended up losing 120 pounds. So yeah, cool, yeah. You're probably wondering now which diet does that, and I tell you, anorexia. That's the one that does it. It's the only diet. Look, it's the only diet that's 100% effective, and it's the cheapest. So yeah, it works. It works all the time. I was going through this phase where I was listening to the Carpenters a lot, and everything just kind of clicked. If you didn't get that joke, I don't have much for you, but if you did, we've only just begun. But I like started paying attention to the food that I was eating and what was going into my body and things, labels at grocery stores. And I realized like the whole food game is just meaningless adjectives and descriptions that don't matter whatsoever. Like, you ever had garden fresh soup? You can't grow soup. I mean, if it sits on a shelf for like 3 years, it's no longer fresh either, right? Or macaroni and cheese, that was another one of my favorites that I used to see. I always hated it when it said made with real cheese. Like, I fucking hope so. By definition, it is one of the 2 ingredients. It's even worse, right, when it says now made with real cheese? What was that before? Like, just ground up orange crayons and cocaine? Yes! That's the theme of the evening, right? If that's the other way around and it said now made with real macaroni, you'd have a lot of questions. Like, what was that before? Just hollowed out cat bones and now they're shaking down kindergartners for their art projects? And we let orange juice get like way out of hand. Dear Lord, did we? Like, you got no pulp, some pulp, all pulp, it's just a fucking brick. You got one that's orange, but not juice. What? It doesn't matter, we'll call it Sunny D. It'll be the foundation of soccer in America. I used to work at Whole Foods and they had one called artisanal deconstructed orange juice. It was just 3 full oranges with a sticker still on them, shoved in a carton with a handlebar mustache with a note that said, "Juice it yourself, you capitalist pig." There's one that's orange juice with pineapple pulp because it's transitioning and living its best life, and we should support that. Look, early in my comedy career, I did that joke, and the 5 people closest to me were all trans women. I figured if that joke didn't land correctly, I was going to find out how much dick was left in that room, you know? But why, back to orange juice, why is that coming in with all the dairy stuff, yeah? You know, why are eggs coming in with the dairy? You can't milk a chicken.
Right? Can you? Right?
They got breasts. They do have breasts. But if I've learned anything from almonds, if you squeeze it hard enough, you can pretty much milk anything, right? Do me a favor, next time if you're one of those people that likes almond milk, start calling it nut juice. Just make everybody uncomfortable. Next time you're at Starbucks, tell them you want beef milk or nut juice. They will look at you funny, but you will have a good day after that. Man, I think we stop milking animals like way too soon. Like, we got cows, sheep, goats, if you're like Greek or Scottish, I don't know. I think you said it, not me. I think that's important. I think we should have kept going with some of them animals, like pandas. We should have milked pandas. They're just out here trying to die for no reason, you know? They're a fucking useless animal, right? Like, Darwin's got like an arsenal like Rambo ready, locked and loaded to do God's work, and we just keep taking that bullet for no reason. We should milk pandas, why not? Look, I'm a vegetarian, and I want to eat a panda just out of spite. They're lazy, they're grass-fed, that's probably delicious, right? And I get it, man, pandas are rare, they're rare, like a blonde Italian. Doesn't mean we should keep them alive, though. A lot of talk about cats earlier. Cats, I'm not a fan of cats, I will say that. I'm more of a dog person. And I think I finally found empirical evidence, like concrete, hard evidence why dogs are better than cats. And that's because in every serial killer documentary, they always ask the person, how many cats did you kill? They never ask them, how many dogs did you kill? It's always that like confessional room where they're doing the interview and they're like, yep, and how many cats did you kill as a teenager? And judging from the number, you know how many people they killed and how successful they were as a serial killer. Like, if a serial killer has a dog come up to them, they're just gonna play with that dog and then realize, hey, I don't want to kill serially anymore. Yeah? I'm just gonna go about my life. I was watching this one show called Signs of a Psychopath, and just, let me be frank with you here, we're overusing the term psychopath. Like, at most, some people, just curious. That's it. They're curious, they found out, and now they're doing life in prison, right? But some people definitely psychopaths. My favorite girl on this series, she was a full service sex worker. I think that is the preferred nomenclature of her occupation. And she found out one of her Johns was snitching on her, so she took matters into her own hands, got her favorite hammer, and hit him in the head enough to keep him alive so he could watch himself die. And then when they got to the police station and did the little cubicle interview thing like that, they asked how many cats had she killed, and she laughed in the cop's face and said, "Bro, are you serious? That's how many cats she had killed. That is a real psychopath." Let's see, real quick. I tend to not follow the news as best I should, but I started seeing a lot of articles around the end of 2008. I don't know if anything had happened around that time that said America looked like they were heading for another civil war. Again, no idea if anything happened in November of 2008 that could have swayed that. And then over the next 8 years, for some reason, again, I don't know why that term length stands out in my mind. There was more and more articles, and they were escalating and getting more and more theoretical as to what the violence would be like should another civil war break out in this country. And they were saying, it wouldn't just be a bunch of people shooting rednecks in the field doing God's work. No, it would be like, I know where we are. There's a fucking monument, dude. They said it would be like more isolated pockets around the country, it would be like just individual things popping up. It'd be like the civil war that goes on in Ireland and Northern Ireland. And when I read that in the article, I just thought, fuck man, I'm gonna wake up with another U2 album just on my phone. Cool guys, that's my time.